Hi, and welcome to the Access MicroTeach for Paradise Valley Community College Business and Information Technology Division. We have a couple of objectives today. We're going to first create table relationships in a database. Then we're going to create a relationship report. We're going to create and modify a query, and then we're going to create a form. So first, let's go ahead and open up our database by whatever means is comfortable to you. And you can see that I've called mine Paradise Valley MicroTeach, and I have the three tables that were created earlier. Now, what makes a database practical for business is the relationships between data tables. Otherwise, you would have a series of tables that did not interact or relate to each other. Relationships between the tables allows the user to generate meaningful data. For instance, order information is useless unless you know which customer placed a particular order. However, customer and order information are not normally stored on the same table. Instead, a relationship is created between the two tables using a field. So let's do that now. We're going to go ahead and click over to the Database tab and click on the Relationships icon to open the Relationships window. Next, we're going to show our tables by clicking on the icon, and we're going to add the tables to the relationship window one at a time by first clicking on them and then clicking the Add button. So customers, orders, and vehicle inventory. Then we're going to close the Show Table dialog box and adjust the field lists so that we can see all the fields easily. Now, to create our first one-to-many relationship, we're going to go ahead and click on the Edit Relationships icon in the top left corner. You'll notice that some of the options are grayed out and nothing has been created yet, so there are no relationships in this database. To create a one-to-many relationship, we're going to go ahead and click on the new Create New button. It's brought up the Create New dialog box with several choices. For our left table name, we're going to go ahead and choose the customer database. And the right table name, we're going to choose the orders table. In the left column name and right column name, we're going to choose the customer ID field for both tables. Now, if we had chosen a different field in either one of the tables, then it would no longer be a one-to-many relationship. We're going to go ahead and click the OK button, and you'll notice that our choices are automatically inserted into the Edit Relationships dialog box. Next, we're going to enforce referential integrity between the two tables. And what this means is that it's going to validate the relationship. For example, when referential integrity is enforced, you will not be allowed to delete a record from your customer table if there is a matching record in your orders table. To do that, you're going to click Enforce Referential Integrity checkbox, and then we're going to do the cascade so it will delete and update fields as necessary. To create the relationship, you're going to click the Create button. And there's our relationship. Alternately, you can create a one-to-many relationship by picking up the VIN field from the vehicle inventory table and dropping it on the VIN field in the orders table. And here's our Edit Relationships dialog box, and also one-to-many. This time we are not going to try and enforce referential integrity and go ahead and click the Create button. Now, if you look at the two relationships, the one that has integrity enforced has a 1 to infinity symbol attached to it, while the other one-to-many relationship does not. And that is one quick way to tell by looking at it whether or not integrity hasn't been enforced between the two tables. Next, we're going to go ahead and create our first report by clicking on the Relationship Report button. And it creates it automatically, and here you can see our three tables with both relationships displayed. We're going to adjust our margins to wide, and then we're going to save the relationships, but we're going to rename it Car Dealer Database and click OK. When we close the print preview, we automatically go into Design View in the report. You'll notice that there are several controls and things that can happen in a report. If you had a logo, you could insert it, or a title or page number. But what we're going to do is we're going to insert a label so that we can type our name on the report. We're going to adjust the footer by grabbing hold of the bottom line, going down to about the half-inch mark. Then we're going to click our label control. You can see I have a hold of it here. And at about the half-inch mark, we're going to go over about an inch and down to the bottom, and then type right in there. You're going to type your name. You can click away from the label control, and then we're going to go over to report view, and there's our name, student name. If we close without saving, we'll get a prompt, and then go ahead and save your changes, and then we're going to close the relationship window. And that is our first report. Next, we're going to go ahead and create a query by using the query wizard. We're going to choose Simple Query Wizard. And you'll notice if you had not chosen tables, you could use the pull-down list to choose whatever table you were looking for. In our case, we wanted the customer table, and we're going to add 3 fields from the available fields to the selected fields by using the Move button. First, we're going to add customer ID, first name, then last name in that order. Next, we're going to change tables, which we can do because we created our relationship, and choose VIN, and then we're going to go ahead and go to Vehicle Inventory and choose Make, Model, Model Year, and Price. And even though we didn't create a relationship from the Vehicle Inventory table to the Customer table, our Order table is an intermediary that'll relate the 2 tables together. When we click the Next button, and then click Next again, and we're going to rename it Sold in Stock, because we want to know what's been sold and is still in stock at the car dealership. Click the Finish button, and here's our query, but it's not quite right because we know there's only one car that's been sold. So we're going to click on the Home tab and go to the Design view and modify our query. I'm going to go ahead and use the scroll car to go to the end where I have a blank field, and I'm going to go to the Orders table and double click on the Picked Up field because I want to know who has not picked up their vehicle. In the Criteria row, under Picked Up, I'm going to type the word No, meaning that they have not picked up their vehicle yet. If I hit Tab or click away, it's going to automatically insert this function now, which is the date and time, and that we don't want. So we're going to go ahead and leave our cursor flashing and click on the Run button. And now we just have Andy Johnson, who was the only customer who has not yet picked up his vehicle. If I hit the Close button, it'll ask me to save. We did change it, so we're going to say yes. And then lastly, we're going to create our form with a subform. I'm going to go to the Create tab one more time, click on Form Wizard, and this time I want the customer table, and I want to move all of the fields at once by using the double greater than symbol and move them all at once. And I want to also have a subform, but just the order ID. I'm going to click Next. This is the order that I want it in, with order as my subform. I'm going to accept all of the defaults and click Finish. And now my customer form has displayed with my first record. We're going to go ahead and create a new record by clicking either the New Record button up on the ribbon or using the gold asterisk New Record down at the bottom. Since I've already created the record, I'm going to go ahead and search for it. And here it is. And I want you to type in as the customer ID E2556, and then your first name in the first name field, your last name in the last name field, your address, your city, Arizona for the state, 85032 for the zip, and then in the subform for your order ID, I want you to type in 1D for a blank order. After all of those are complete, you're going to click the Save button and then go ahead and close the form. And so what we have done is we've created our relationships, We have created our relationship report. We have created and modified a query, and we've created both a form and a subform. Thank you for listening today, and have a nice afternoon.